Hello world, my name is Code Eric and I've been working on this app called ZERVE. Today is pretty exciting because I've been working on this new feature that I want to show you. ZERVE is an app that allows you to configure your custom application with your non-technical people. So what that means is you can save arbitrary data here in the ZERVE application. Here, for example, we're saving the home screen text, some text that's showing up on the home screen, and we're just able to change it. And we can access this through an API, so that way your custom application will reflect whatever data you want to store here. So here we're editing the home screen, but we want to take this to the next level and make it so that your engineers can actually customize what sort of content is available here. So that's why I've been working on schemas. So I'm really excited to show you what it's like to create a schema here on ZERVE right now in the very first prototype. So here we're punching in a new schema name. We can say, for example, on our home screen, we might want to say what the status is of our project, or status of ourselves personally, or of our company, whatever it is. Let's create a status schema. And here we can specify what sort of content the status is. So say for now, the status will be an object, because the status can have different things available on it. So different properties inside of the object. Let's go ahead and add a couple of properties. For example, the headline. This is going to be text, and we would also add a property for perhaps the date that the headline was put, so like the status date. And for now, both of these will just be text, because we don't actually have a fully blown type yet. This is just JSON types so far. So we'll specify that both of these are text, and we could go into more details of this schema, but for now, we're basically specifying that this is a status. And we can also put in a title and a description. For example, the description is like the content that shows up on the home screen. Okay, so let's save the schema. And now the status is a schema that's available for us to use. So here on our home banner file, we're going to change this up. Let's first come and rename it, because it's not just about the banner, it's now about the status. So home. Okay, we've renamed our file, and we can also change the schema. And we can set that the schema is actually set to a status. So this is our new schema type that we just created. And this is still looking a little simple and primitive right now. This isn't really what it's going to look like eventually. Hopefully this will be a little bit more informative. This is actually the raw JSON schema under the hood that allows us to specify that, look, we're referring to another schema. And now you can see that the description from our schema is showing up, as well as the different fields that we have available on our home screen. So here we can specify, today is the status date, or whenever. It's a little silly because it's always going to say today, no matter what date you're looking at this. But then the headline is ZERVE prototype is working, ? So I'm going to hit save, and now this content is in our database, and we can go and see what it's like from our API. So here I'm going to query for state/home. And this is the current way the API is set up, but it might wind up changing a little bit. And here we're able to see that this is the value that we've set up. And what's cool is this is coming from a schema, and this schema is reusable. So let's go and take this example to the next level, slightly more complicated. Let's say that the home screen isn't going to be a single schema, isn't going to be a single status, but we want on our home screen to have a list of all of the different status updates of things that have been going on our project. So we're going to go into our home and change the schema again. And instead of just specifying that it's a status, we'll specify that it's a list. And each item in the list will be a status entry. So we can put the description here as like list of status updates on the home screen. And now we can see that it's an empty list of status updates here on our home screen, and we can go add a couple of updates. One is saying like the project has been started in 2009. Roughly when I started working on this app, project started. And another date is 2022. The YouTube channel was launched, just 13 years between the start of the project and the start of the YouTube channel. So hey, pretty exciting times, right? So now I'm going to hit save, and now our developers can come and consume this from the API. So here we're referring to a more complicated status, more complicated schema, and our API now is able to grow in complexity as needed. All we need to do is add more schemas, and then our non-technical people can use the app to add additional content, and we can consume the schemas, consume the content and the schemas from the API. And pretty soon, next up is for the TypeScript developers out there, I want to make it really easy so that way you can get type-safe data from this API using JSON schema to TS, because all of the JSON, all the schema information is available here in the metadata. Here, just to show you what it's like to use the API to investigate the schemas, you can query for $schemas under the state. And here it's giving us all of the schemas that are set up inside of the app. But right now, of course, we've only set up our one schema. So I'm so excited about the schemas functionality, and this is just a prototype. Hopefully it's going to be looking a lot different and more mature several weeks and months from now. But I want to show you the progress as I'm making it, and this is what I've been working hard on this week. I think this is an incredibly powerful feature that is going to be a really important building block for all sorts of other things in the ZERVE ecosystem. So thanks for taking a look, and hopefully you can experiment with schemas, and hopefully you like this concept. Let me know what you think, and thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.